Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. We are reading chapter 3 of Kate Gosselin, How She Fooled the World, and it's bedtime here, my favorite time to get cozy and read a book.
Listen, Mr. John Gosselin, it's about time you man up, since I've only been saying it for how many months. Accept the offer, get in the ring for once in your life, face somebody that you've hurt, and just, take it down, John. Take it down, because I'm telling you, everything's going to come back to haunt you. Everything. You cannot mess other people's lives up. Thank God I've moved on with my life a long time ago from you. Huge learning experience. But eventually, maybe it could be Haley, myself, Stephanie Santoro, and eventually this little girl, Morgan, because she'll be the next victim. So you know what, John? Get in that ring with Michael, and if not, I'll train and I'll take you on myself. Have a great day, John.
Kate Major is like, get into the ring with me, John Gosselin. What's funny about that clip is that she's asking John Gosselin to get into the ring with Michael Lohan. Oh, the shenanigans! I cannot wait to do my episode all about Kate Major, Michael Lohan, and John Gosselin. The triple threat. Okay, so chapter 3 is entitled When Johnny Met Kate. Oh, it sounds so sweet, but yeah, it's not the sweetness you may be hoping for. Okay, according to our wonderful author, Robert Hoffman, Kate created a lot of stories, a lot of fairy tales, a lot of narratives about how she met John, and it's different each time she tells it. And he breaks that down for us.
It was a sunny, warm day in October. What happened, honey?
I was working at a hotel. I was living with my mother at the time.
I had just graduated from nursing school.
But he wants us to know that there's an alternate reality called the truth. And he has it. He's serving it up on a platter for us because he's spoken to all these family members and friends, and this is what they've had to say.
They had all these company picnics and training things, and they had this one weekend.
What day of the weekend was it?
I have no idea. I would say a Saturday.
It was a Sunday. I went with a friend of mine who worked there. She worked there and for whatever reason asked me to go.
Allegedly, Kate was not interested in John when she first saw him at this company picnic or wherever they met. That was until one of Kate's friends mentioned that John came from a very wealthy family. John's father was a doctor. I believe he was a dentist and had a very successful dental practice. Kate had zero luck finding a doctor to marry her, and she was kind of the mindset of marrying the son of a doctor with a practice could be just as good. Like maybe she'd end up working for his dad, but the main thing was like, cha-ching! Where's the money? She was looking for it to flow, and flow it did. Allegedly, Kate talked on and on about how John and his family were living on the best, the most affluent street in all of their little town, which was called, and please tell me if I'm getting it wrong, Wyoming, Pennsylvania.
I was like, I'm not leaving here today until I meet him. I declared that, in fact.
Had you dated a lot before you met John?
Maybe.
Yes.
What?
Well, we should talk about
I like
our ages.
bad boys.
Allegedly, Kate heard that John had a girlfriend at this time, and she said, not for long. Kate's version of the story goes like this in one of her several books. It all started when John and I met on October 5th, 1997 at a picnic.
No career. I worked at ski slope.
Just got back from Europe.
Just got back from backpacking across Europe. I didn't have any goals. Didn't want to get married. Didn't want to have kids. Wasn't even thinking about that stuff.
I never believed in love at first sight, but this came really close. John was walking across the grass and I saw him and was instantly intrigued. Our eyes met and continued to meet from across the way all afternoon. Finally, I arranged for someone to introduce us, and the rest is just history. That was the description that Kate gave in her first book. But Robert's going to let us know that the description continues to change as her brand evolves and changes with the course of the show.
Just bumming around, doing whatever I wanted to do.
How long did you date before before it became serious?
Us?
A day.
I had a girlfriend at the time. I told her.
She was gone the next day.
Robert takes a minute to let us know a little bit about John, that when he was young, and he was only 19 when he met Kate, he was considered supposedly a very good-looking guy, a fun guy to be around. He had been a soccer player in high school. He had lots of friends. He was considered popular and very likable.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and that's Kate, my beautiful fiance. Merry Christmas. It's December 25th, 1998. Okay?
Are you recording?
And we're gonna have to open our presents now.
Are you recording?
The chapter goes on to just describe the many different ways that Kate has told this story over and over again. It was different in multiple blessings. She talks about how she never really wanted to get involved with John, but she was spurred on by her friend who accompanied her to the picnic. In another book, she says that she knew about John before the picnic. So there's just a lot of different small details that are changing. And Robert is bringing that to our attention.
Yes, Kate, look at the red light.
Merry Christmas. We were the couple that people always said, we were sickening sweet. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Can you believe that?
I don't know what happened.
Through Robert's conversations with John Goslin, he lets us know that John knew that he didn't want to get married right away or super young, not to Kate or anyone else. Robert specifically states that when he first watched John and Kate +8 and he didn't know anything about the family, he thought that John was a very beaten down, nerdy guy who never had any other options other than to marry Kate. And that was why he was with her and stayed with her. But he lets us know that when he looked back at John Goslin's high school pictures, his life before he met Kate, allegedly Hoffman realized that he was a hottie and could have been with a lot of different women, according to Hoffman. Thou dost love John a little bit too much is what I would say if he was standing in front of me.
There's a right, perfect one. Thank you. Open it up.
John told Hoffman that Kate really pressured him down the road towards marriage, and he ended up following right along. John and Kate got married on June 12th, 1999, and it happened at a friend's house. It was a perfect garden wedding, according to Kate. The weather was great, and it was such a beautiful thing. It was also very beautiful because John's father paid for all of it. Cha-ching!
And there was our whole theme was flowers.
And welcome to the marriage celebration for Katie and Jonathan.
I promise to walk by your side, to support you, love you, help you, and encourage you.
John's father was known to be extremely generous.
Harpist. If I could do it again, wouldn't that have been beautiful? I don't know why I didn't think of it. But it was beautiful.
I would have had
classical music and exactly.
I would have had dancing with my wife.
He paid for their wedding and he bought them their first house in that crazy town, Wyoming, Pennsylvania. And he quietly supported them financially, giving them a large check every month, according to Hoffman.
Yeah, we didn't dance at our wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
I
very...
know. I can't dance, so
We had
it really
rules.
wasn't that much of a loss.
We went to Disney World on our honeymoon.
If
that was your first
could
time
do that
there,
over
right?
again, I would go to an
It was
island.
Kate's first time there.
Yeah.
He gave them a lot of emotional support and he gave them a lot of money. And Kate really loved that about him.
It was the first time I flew.
First time on an airplane.
I'm still alive. I was scared. I like the clouds.
Is it just me or is Kate totally faking an alternate personality in these videos from when she first got married to John? I don't think John knew what he was in for, and like something seems really off about her. I don't know if they're like on substances all the time, but they're just not acting like the John and Kate we all know from the show. All right, so this is the end of chapter 3. It was pretty short. Tomorrow, we will move on to chapter 4, which is called The Action Plan. Okay? This chapter is all about Kate Goslin and her plan for her life and John's life. Kate famously says, "I'm the plan maker and you're the plan follower." This is an interesting chapter that's coming up because in chapter 4, Hoffman is questioning whether or not it's even really true that Kate was unable to get pregnant naturally. He very much paints a description of her as manipulating John and everyone around them, even the doctors, and that she had always thought of and wanted to have multiples. She wanted it to be as many multiples as possible, and she knew she wasn't going to get to that high number naturally. Oh my goodness. The shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. The book is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. All right. It's been a long day for me. I hope you guys can go to sleep, drift to sleep, thinking about Kate Goslin and bananas in pajamas dancing around her. Thanks for coming down this rabbit hole with me. I hope you'll join me again next time when we head down another rabbit hole.